All right, sync. All right, Yogi clan, getting ready to suit up, load up. I got told by 2 different people today to be careful riding. There's a lot of crazies out there. Don't know if that's an omen or not. So let's get this bag put in here and then we'll hit the road. So if something happens to me on the way home, you heard it here first. Well, actually probably not, because this video won't be edited. Okay, why aren't you starting? Ah, ignition makes a big difference. Let's do it. Sorry, this video is visually not gonna be very exciting. It is what, 4:23 on Friday, which means one thing: a heck of a lot of Charlotte traffic. So you're probably gonna be sitting with me in traffic listening to me babble more than we are riding down the road. I'll try to keep my mouth shut at traffic lights and only talk when I'm moving. That may be hard to do. But what I wanted to talk to you today about is a situation that happened last weekend. I posted it on Instagram, and so some of you probably have seen little blurps about it. But it's kind of a thing that touches me, kind of stirs my heart a little. So I thought it's worth mentioning and chatting about for a moment. So why don't we dive on in? But before we do that, since it's like story time, why don't you go ahead and grab yourself a Coke, maybe grab yourself some popcorn or Snickers because it satisfies, something to eat, something to drink. Grab yourself a comfy chair and put your feet up, and I'll tell y'all a story. And while you go and get those things, you got exactly 12 seconds, because that's how long my intro is. So, you ready? Set, go! Alright, Yogi Clan, welcome back. Hope you got yourself some vittles to eat on, something to drink to wash it on down. So last week, my daughter was down in Alabama. She goes to a Christian church camp down in Alabama. She's gone for the past 2 years. She loves that particular camp, and since she's a senior in high school, graduating, going to college this year at UNC Wilmington, this was her last year she was able to go to camp. So she took advantage of it, took her older sister's car. It's a 2012 Ford Escape. Yeah, that's what it is. And drove it down there. Well, the week of 4th of July, so a couple days prior to her leaving, we were coming back from watching the 4th of July parade, and I get a phone call from my daughter. And she had to go around. Well, she saw this box in the road in the lane in front of her, so she went around it, and when she went around it, she realized it was a box of nails. So some contractor dropped a box of nails. Well, she knew that my truck and my wife's minivan, Honda Odyssey, just like the one in front of us, were like a mile or two behind her coming back from the parade. So she called us, and well, she called my wife, and then my son Grayson called me and said, "Hey, watch out on this road at this place right across from Boo's Farm. There's a box of nails in the road. Make sure you don't run it over. I don't want you to get a nail in the tire." Okay. Because I didn't check her car tires to verify that it didn't have any nails before Georgia decided to drive this car to Alabama. So she drives it to Alabama, makes it down there, no problem, goes to camp. Camp's about over. So she calls me, it's like Friday. Camp's ending on Friday, and they're not allowed to have their cell phones during camp. So she gets her cell phone back, and her friend's mom, whose house the car was parked at, sent her a message and said, "Hey, FYI, your right rear tire is flat." So she calls me and goes, "Hey, Pops, I don't know what to do. My right rear tire is flat." And we have AAA, but as far as I know, AAA does not fix flat tires. They change flat tires. But the problem is she's in, outside of Birmingham, and has to get back to North Carolina. one of those little spare donuts. I just wouldn't trust her to ride it all the way back to North Carolina, and I don't think AAA plugs tires. They give you gas and they give you a tow. So I'm like, what do we do? I said, my guess is you ran over a nail, and while that car was parked for a week, you probably parked on top of the nail, to which then it leaked all the air out. Because I know whenever I've had a nail in my tire, you know, sometimes I can ride with that nail in the tire for a long time, but if I park where the wheel is sitting on top of the nail, you know, it'll lose the air and it'll go flat. So I bet you she parked on top of the nail. So I put a message out in my motorcycle club. So there's one guy, Gary, that I've built this relationship with. He's one of our prospects. I've talked to him probably a couple dozen times. So I put out on our Facebook page, hey, I got a problem. I have a daughter down outside of Birmingham. She's got a flat tire. Need to see if somebody can go by and plug it. Well, he responds back and says, hey, man, I can go do it. And we got a guy who's a supporter hang around. I'm not exactly sure what his status is, named Oscar. He can go with me and give me a hand doing this. And I'm like, okay, cool. And he's like, you know, just give me details, where it is and what's going on and blah, 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 blah. So I shoot him the details, and then I start a 3-way text message between Georgia, myself, and him. That way we can all communicate together about timing of when to do this. You know, I figured, hey, she's not coming home till Monday morning. How about, can you meet her Sunday night? That way y'all don't have to like call off of work. Let's just do it Sunday night, make it easy on everybody. He's like, all right, cool, no problem. How about 5 o'clock? That way it's before dinner. Go over there, plug the tire, go home. Everything's cool. Sure, that's great. So he gets over to the house Sunday night and calls and gives me a call and says, hey man, I don't see a nail in this tire. I'm like, I bet you she's parked on it. He's like, nope, don't see it. So they take the tire off the car. And luckily he brought some sockets with him, or they got a hold of a pair of sockets or something. They take the tire off the car, and sure enough, there's a nail in it, but it was just all the way on the inside of the tread. So he really, you know, he probably wasn't laying down behind the car looking at it when they were rolling the tire. So he goes and buys a plug kit, spends $4, comes back and plugs the tire. And then, you know, they had a bottle of Windex, sprays it up with Windex, no leaks. He's like, are you sure? You know, because I guess they had taken it to a tire place, and the tire place didn't want to plug it, of course, because they want to sell you a new tire. And it wasn't on the sidewall, it was in the tread of the tire. I'm like, heck no, dude. That tire still probably got another 15,000 miles. Plug that sucker so she can get home. Okay. So he plugs it, squirts it with Windex, works perfect. No leaks. Puts it back on the car. Next morning, I see a real early in the morning text message from him on that group chat. He's like, hey, was just thinking about you, was praying for you, want to make sure you make it home safely. Do me a favor. Stop by an auto parts store and have them check your tire for you, make sure it's holding pressure and that you're good to go and safe to get home, and just want to make sure you're safe getting home. And she's like, all right, will do. And she does that. She listens. She goes. In Georgia, she's 18. But she listens to him. She goes. She's a good kid. Gets the tire checked out. Everything's fine. She drives the 8 hours or so, however long it is, to get home from Alabama. And, you know, here we are almost a week later now. Well, it's Friday. This was Monday. And the tire's still holding air, doing great. The whole point of this was just to really express friendships and some of the benefits of being in a motorcycle club. But, you know, you can experience that same type of friendships through other things. You know, there are people I've now built friendships with on YouTube who I bet if I were to have a problem in an area, if they couldn't help me, they could probably find somebody to help me. So even through YouTube, I built friendships. Through Facebook, I built friendships. Through Instagram, I've built friendships. And the cool thing is social media has made this world a whole lot smaller of a place. And it is awesome when you can connect with people and start building some of these relationships and friendships that eventually one day is going to come in handy and help out. And, you know, the fact that Gary took time out of his day to help my daughter was an awesome thing. So we have a deal, you know, where when I see him and Oscar, I owe them tacos. So I just want to put a shout out to Gary and to Oscar, a public thank you. You know, I thanked you guys on Instagram, I thanked y'all on Facebook, but I want to throw a shout out to Awesomeness You know, there's still a lot of good people left in this planet. And for somebody who I've never actually shook hands with, to take time out of his day to go help my daughter, I mean, he could have just easily said, "Oh no, dude, I'm busy, call AAA." You know, but he didn't. He took time to help me out, to help my family out, and make sure my daughter got home safely. And for that, I am very appreciative and just really excited. I just kind of wanted to share that story with you because I thought it was pretty cool. It was pretty heartwarming that somebody's looking out for my kids from 4 states away from me, 8 to 10 hours away from me. So thank you, Gary. Thank you, Oscar. God bless you both. I hope you all have a wonderful weekend this weekend. Well, by the time you watch this, I hope you had a wonderful weekend this weekend. And man, anytime y'all are in North Carolina, by all means hit me up. Tacos are on me. I know that karma will come back to them and bless them mighty, because they blessed me mighty. Thank you, boys. Thank you to all my subscribers for supporting me in this little endeavor. My YouTube channel, watching my wrenching videos, watching my rambles. So thank you guys for supporting. I will catch you soon. Be blessed. Peace.